Hey everybody, this is Brittany here from Surfing Waves of Light, and today I'm doing a video on how I healed my UTI 2 years ago and without antibiotics, without seeing a doctor, and how I have not had one since also. So this is on treatment and prevention of UTI. I want to start my video with a disclaimer that, of course, if you have a urinary tract infection, symptoms of a urinary tract infection, or any medical issue, please see your doctor or primary care practitioner. Anything that I'm saying in this video is purely for educational purposes only. I am teaching you about how I healed myself of a UTI. I'm not indicating that this will work for you at all. None of the things that I'm saying has been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. So just keep those things in mind as I'm talking. My claimer, because I'd like to claim what I'm doing, is that alternative healing, well, all healing, sorry, not alternative healing, all true healing occurs at the level of the mind. And we can use physicality to help us change our mind so we can change the way that we perceive things, using physicality as the thing to perceive. But basically, all true healing happens at the level of the mind. So while we can use medical medium information and all kinds of physical tools to heal ourselves, we have to remember that things will just come back if we don't change our perceptions. So more on that later, but I'm more in the physicality today because I'm speaking about the foods and supplements that I use to to heal myself of a urinary tract infection. So a couple of years ago, my dad was passing and I was doing a lot of winter surfing because I was staying in New Jersey for the winter because of my dad, and putting on the wetsuit all the time and being stressed and all that stuff. I had a urinary tract infection pop up. It was the middle of winter, of course, I'm not outside, and just my immune system was down. So I was pretty bummed out and I didn't want to go to the doctor. So I'd been studying medical medium information for a while and I had read all his books, and he had just come out with a new book called Liver Rescue right here. So what I decided to do was I read the chapter and information on urinary tract infections in his Liver Rescue book. I had also read information about urinary tract infections on his blogs online. You can just literally type in Google medical medium and whatever complaint you have. But for this, particular circumstance, I had a urinary tract infection. So I Googled it and I looked up what medical medium had to say on his blog. I checked out all the books that he mentioned in the blog, and I came up with some pretty solid strategies for how I was going to heal my UTI. So the first thing I did, because this is what medical medium will tell you to do no matter what, is I started making sure I was drinking my celery juice every single morning and trying to get at least 16 ounces, if not 24 ounces in. I was pretty new to celery juice at the time, so I was probably doing about 16 ounces. So I was doing my celery juice. I was hydrating, drinking big glasses of lemon water all throughout the day, 24 ounces of lemon water with about a half a lemon, maybe a little more than a half a lemon in 24 ounces. And the other thing I decided to do was I looked in his book, and he has all these pages where he lists a problem and he puts supplements underneath of it and provides doses. So I looked at the supplement list, and I didn't have all the supplements, but I looked at the ones that I did have, and I started taking them as prescribed, not prescribed, but as suggested in the book. I'm a nurse, so I did some research to make sure that the dosages were safe for me, and I felt they were, and I take responsibility for myself. So I felt comfortable taking these supplements as prescribed or as indicated by medical medium, although he indicates he's not a doctor either. So, so, you have to decide if you're willing to take responsibility for your own health, or if you're allowing someone else to help you with that, then make sure if you decide to take supplements that you run that by your doctor, especially checking if you're on any other medications that could interact with these supplements. So just wanted to say that. But yeah, so I, not worried about any of those things, started taking some of the supplements on the list. I had lemon balm, I had hibiscus tea, I had cat's claw, and then I ordered a few. I had zinc. Zinc is really powerful. I take that almost every day anyway. And yeah, so I just started taking them. And then I did my hydration and my celery juice. I was drinking smoothies, still eating food. But the other thing that I did was I went to his other book, Medical Medium Life Changing Foods. And if you go in the back of this book and you look up urinary tract infections in the index, you can find what pages have the word urinary tract infection on it. So I did a scan. I looked at all of the foods that Medical Medium says has benefits for healing UTIs. So I wrote those foods down. And then I also went to this section where it talks about the foods that feed viruses and feed the things that are causing us symptoms in our body. So after looking at that page, it told me that for urinary tract infections, it's important to not eat wheat, not eat dairy, and not eat eggs. So I cut those out of my diet. At the time, I was still eating all of those things pretty regularly. Now I do not. I still sometimes do, but not often at all. So I usually don't even have to cut them out because they're already pretty much out. So at the time, I cut those out. I rested. I meditated. All the mind stuff. You have to do the mind stuff. It took me probably a week to completely get over my symptoms, but implementing those steps, doing the best I can. I'm not saying I might not have had a bagel once during my illness. When I was a child, I was often given like Burger King and other foods like that. But yeah, so it was really empowering to have that, knowing I had the ability to heal a UTI, which coming from traditional Western medicine, I was taught that you need a antibiotic in most circumstances once you have symptoms. And I had never had success healing a UTI on my own. Once I had gotten the symptoms, it was pretty much a downhill from there. Really no shot that it would heal by itself. So, and I didn't really want to take antibiotics anymore. So this was a great alternative for me. And I was really excited about it. So it's something I wanted to share, that you may have the ability to take the healing into your own hands. And even more important than healing when you're sick is just keeping yourself well. So a lot of the things I talked about in this video, you could also do to keep yourself well. A few other things I wanted to mention about urinary tract infections is, if you go on Google, and last I remember, I've not been in the hospital for about 2 years now, but last I remember, Western medicine will tell you that urinary tract infections are caused by E. coli. I'm not a scientist and I don't work in a lab, but what Medical Medium says is that urinary tract infections are caused by strep. And one of the things he says that happens with strep is that antibiotics actually feed strep. So this could be why some people out there who get UTIs keep getting UTIs all the time. Then there's other people who just never get UTIs. And Medical Medium says that antibiotics are almost always first if someone has urinary tract infections or acne, because acne is also caused by strep. So if you can see by my skin, I have some acne. So that makes me believe that I have strep living in my lymph system. I don't get UTIs anymore, so I'm assuming it's much better than it was before. But that's just one of the perspectives that Medical Medium has. And for me, that really resonated. And because I used his protocols and healed my UTI, I had faith that, okay, there is power to this. There is power to using food as medicine. And some of the power really comes in cutting out those foods that are feeding these viruses that are causing our symptoms. But I never tell anyone to cut stuff out first. But if you are sick and you're motivated because you have pain or you have dysuria, which is when you're like, keep going to the bathroom, I hate that. So I was motivated. I love food, but I was super motivated. So you may find that there's a time in your life that you'll feel the same way. And that's why I shared this video, because maybe it will help you. So, if you have any questions about anything I just said, leave a comment in the comment section. Like I said, always consult your doctor before doing anything new. Make sure your healthcare provider is aware of it and on board. But, Medical Medium eating foods is pretty safe. You've had experience with that your whole life. And then taking supplements, I noticed that the supplements he recommends are generally safe. I'm not telling you they're safe for you. I'm just saying I've not seen anything in his recommendations that was way out of the park or way outside of values that I found online in comparison. I'm not a homeopathist. I'm not a naturopath. I have not studied herbal remedies or anything like that in detail. I study Medical Medium information. I've applied it to myself and I've noticed that it worked. And that is all I am saying today in this video. Just to be clear, I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this video about how I healed my UTI using medical medium protocols plus my mind. As always, we'll talk about that later. Yeah. So like I said, leave a comment in the comment section, subscribe, let me know what you need. I'm here for you, and I'm so happy to be doing what I'm doing. All right, have a good day.